Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy DT3, man, and I'm back here at you with another video, man. New media. Notification gang. God Squad. It's what it is, man. Look, check this out. Manny wasn't ready for Ugas. The Pac-Man wasn't ready for a Ugas fight. He did all that preparation, did all that hyping up to prepare himself for Errol Spence fight and ended up with Udenius Ugas. I'm here to tell y'all right here, right now, Manny Pacquiao wasn't ready for Udenius Ugas. He was prepared for a fight to be in the trenches. He was prepared for a guy who was going to try to use his size and try to overwhelm him. He was prepared for that. He was prepared for that. He was looking for that. But what he wasn't prepared for was for an orthodox Cuban-style counterpuncher in Udenius Ugas. There were times in the fight where I felt like Udenius Ugas should have put his foot on the gas pedal and kind of advance a little more, be a little more aggressive. But at the same time, looking back at it, watching the fight for a second time, I think Manny was waiting on that. I think Manny was waiting on Ugas to make a mistake, over-engage, or engage at a moment in time where Manny is looking for that engagement. And Ugas didn't do that. He threw nice, sharp lead right hands. He did throw good overhand rights behind his jab. His jab was phenomenal, which is something that most orthodox fighters do not use very much on southpaws, which is a jab. And Ugas really showed a good jab against a southpaw. Quiet as kept, to Ugas' credit, he does have very good success with southpaws. He's very comfortable with fighting southpaws. So that was a fight that Manny Pacquiao wasn't looking for. I think Manny Pacquiao was looking for more of a barn burner type fight, and he was looking to catch Errol Spence with some shit. Now, it's a few people on YouTube saying that Errol Spence would have did this, Errol Spence would have did that, blah, 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 blah. Errol Spence isn't Udenius Ugas and vice versa. They don't fight the same. They don't. They don't have the same fighting style. They don't have the same fighting stance. They don't have the same mentality when it comes to fighting. Udenius Ugas, prior to beating Manny Pacquiao, has had 4 prior losses on his resume. Errol Spence has none. So there might have been certain risks or certain lessons that Udenius Ugas has learned within those 4 losses that Errol Spence more than likely probably ain't learned yet. Because there are some things you don't learn from winning. There are some things you literally only learn from taking losses. Because in order for you to take a sense of an L, you had to make some mistakes. Whether it be in the fight, in the camp, whatever it is, you made some mistakes. That's why you got that L. So there are certain learning curves that Udenius Ugas have already met with, Errol Spence ain't met. Same thing with Manny Pacquiao. And the way that Ugas was throwing that right hand, quiet as kept, to be real with y'all, in my humble opinion, I felt that Manny saw Marquez again, Will Marquez again. He saw that right hand timing him, coming in, and he went to sleep. He didn't want to have that happen again. But I do still think that Manny Pacquiao would have beat Errol Spence. Because I honestly believe that Errol Spence was a little overconfident in going into a Manny Pacquiao fight, basing it on his age and basing it on Errol Spence being the bigger, younger fighter. And seeing what I saw from Manny Pacquiao and seeing what I've seen from Errol in his recent fights, I do think Manny would have got him. To be honest with you, I don't even think Errol Spence is fully recovered from the car accident. I think the eye injury is a result of not being fully healed from that car accident. Errol Spence has not been the same fighter, and a lot of y'all are expecting Errol to be that same guy in some instance, and he's not that guy. He's not that guy. And Manny was going to literally catch Errol with some shit. He was going to test Errol. He was going to touch Errol up. If Sean Porter, this is Sean Porter pre-accident, before the accident, this is Errol Spence way before accident, right? If Sean Porter, as wild and unorthodox Sean Porter is, if he able to touch you up before the accident, you can't tell me that technical, sharp punching, quick punching, accurate punching Manny Pacquiao wasn't going to touch up Errol Spence. And quiet as kept, Ugas is more defensively sound than Errol Spence. Errol Spence is not known for his defense. He's known for his offensive prowess. He ain't known for his defense. He's known for going in there, throwing 1,000 punches or damn near 1,000 punches, all the shit. That's what he's known for. And his punching power. He not known for being a defensive anything. So while y'all hyping up what Errol would have done offensively, y'all fail to realize that his defense would have been getting all exposed against Manny Pacquiao. Y'all get so hyped up on the offense. Errol don't got that good of a defense to keep Manny off of. Don't have it. He don't have the head movement. Just what it is. But, quiet to be real, Manny Pacquiao wasn't ready for Eugenius Ugas, and I still say, even after seeing that fight, Manny Pacquiao still would have beat Errol Spence. And because Errol Spence has not fully recovered from the car accident, maybe physically, but mentally, emotionally, I don't see it. And even I can't even say fully physically, because I'm sure there's some things that's going on with Errol that we don't know and he ain't going to disclose. But I do feel that since the accident, Errol Spence is not the same fighter. He's just not the same. I still feel like he got the dog in him, but I just don't see him being the same fighter he was before the accident. And I honestly believe if Sean Porter was able to touch you up the way he was able to touch you up and stay in the trenches with you, I think Manny. And Sean Porter is not the most accurate puncher. And I think that's the fight that Manny was looking for, to stay in the pocket, and he was planning on catching Errol with some shit. Now, the real question would have been, can Manny take what he dishing? That would have been a question that we won't be able to find out, because we're not going to get the Errol Spence Manny Pacquiao fight. But I do believe that Manny Pacquiao did have something for him. I do. And I do believe that Manny Pacquiao has a better sense of defense than Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. What I do give Sean Porter, though, he's really good at turning you, though. You get him against the ropes, or he gets you against the ropes, he's good as fuck at turning you and turning off or turning out. Really good at that. But hats off to Manny Pacquiao for your career. You did your thing. Even in a loss, you still went out in the blaze of glory. I respect you to the death of me. And I still believe, even after that fight, I still think that Manny Pacquiao would have got Errol Spence. And I think at the worst, even if it was to go Errol Spence way, it wouldn't have been no landslide. It would have been a split. It would have been a split. I think Eugenius Ugas fought a smart, strategic fight. In spots where you might want him to engage, he was like, nah, I won that engagement. I caught him with that good thing. He didn't throw nothing back. I win. If I keep this up for the rest of the fight, guess what? I win. And lo and behold, that's what happened. Truth be told, Manny Pacquiao just wasn't ready for Eugenius Ugas. He just wasn't ready for it. He just was not prepared for whatever Eugenius Ugas was finna bring to the table, stylistically. And a lot of y'all forget that styles make fights. So saying that Earl would have did this because Ugas did it, they fight two totally different type of ways. There's no sense to say that Ugas is going to do the shit that Errol was going to do, or that Errol was going to do what Ugas did. Two totally different styles, two totally different mentalities, bro. Ugas just had what it took, and he had the game plan to beat Manny. And Manny didn't have no game plan. He didn't have a backup plan. Freddie Rose didn't have a backup plan. They was too busy game planning for Errol. They was so gung-ho on Errol that they forgot about when Errol had fucked his eye off. When they got Eugenius Ugas, they didn't know what the fuck to do. And to be honest, Ugas just had Manny's number that night. But I stand firm on what I believe. Manny Pacquiao still would have beat Errol Spence. And at the worst, Errol Spence would have won via SD. I don't think it would have been no draw. They would have made sure that that fight wasn't going to end in no draw or nothing. It was either going to be a SD Errol or a SD Manny Pacquiao. Or a majority decision. Period. Salute to you, Manny Pacquiao. God bless you. And I wish you great things on all your endeavors later on in life. And pray that you're able to become a president for your country and rule over your people in a proper way. Excuse me. 100.